Let's discuss this further with tonight's opening panel. Raheem Kassam is a global editor-in-chief at humanevents.com. Spencer Critchley is a Democratic strategist and managing partner at the Boots Road Group. Gentlemen, thank you both for being with us. Raheem, we have the President of the United States, the UK's top ally, coming for a visit, and the leader of the opposition party, the Mayor of London, both attacking him. Now, yes, the President responded to Khan's attack, and you can argue whether or not he should have retaliated. But is it fitting for British leaders to attack the President like this?
No, it's actually deeply embarrassing, Michelle, for our country when our government, our monarchy, has spent so much time and effort putting this state visit together for Sadiq Khan to write a nasty little op-ed for the Guardian newspaper, and then for Jeremy Corbyn to refuse to attend the state banquet and also be speaking at this protest tomorrow. Well, it's deeply embarrassing, but it's also relatively predictable. Don't forget, Sadiq Khan represented Louis Farrakhan, the anti-Semite, in his Nation of Islam when he was a lawyer. Jeremy Corbyn has marched arm in arm with Hezbollah and Hamas, and I find it particularly strange watching American television today and seeing these people on CNN and so forth sort of siding with those people. I didn't think Corbyn and Khan would be the type that the American left wants to associate with, but apparently so. I think the President's done a magnificent job in Britain today. I think the Queen was obviously delighted. All those wonderful beaming pictures, that's what state occasions are for, not for flying little balloons and putting little nasty op-eds in The Guardian.
Spencer, Mayor Khan not only wrote that op-ed in The Guardian critical of the President, he also released a video saying that the President stood for the opposite of London's value. And in fact, he held the President responsible for some of the abortion laws being passed in the United States. Let's watch.
We think diversity is not a weakness, diversity is a strength. We respect women and we think they're equal to men. What we're seeing in the USA is a rolling back of the reproductive rights of women. We've got a situation now where some states in the USA are making it almost impossible for women to have the rights to have an abortion. One has to look at the history books to realise the consequences of women not having the right to choose over their own body. What we can't afford to do is return to backstreet abortions. What we can't afford to see is a return to the situation in decades where you had women have no control over their bodies. It's really important we support women in the USA.
Spencer, I mean, you can put a lot of things on the President, but is that necessary as well, giving him blame or credit for states passing restrictive abortion laws?
Oh, he's certainly the spearhead of those restrictive laws, and that's a big part of the explanation for his support among the evangelical base, who otherwise should find his personal behavior odious, but the importance of the abortion issue to them is so high they're willing to look the other way, to the point, I think, of spraining their necks. You know, I really think that this is not a left-right issue, and I think it's incorrect to characterize the mainstream American media as left. They are actually the mainstream. The President likes to call them the left, but that's because they don't flatter him enough. There are very serious values here, and those are the values that the United Kingdom and the United States are supposed to share. Those are the values that united them in one of history's greatest alliances to save the free world. And unfortunately, what's embarrassing, humiliating really for many Americans, is that we have a president celebrating this major milestone anniversary of D-Day who doesn't necessarily share those values and in fact prefers the company of dictators.
Raheem, I'm going to give you a chance to respond to Spencer right after the break. Keep it right here. We also want to talk to you about some potentially game-changing developments in Venezuela. That's all ahead.
Mr. President, as we look to the future, I'm confident that our common values and shared interests will continue to unite us. Tonight, we celebrate an alliance that has helped to ensure the safety and prosperity of both our peoples for decades, and which I believe will endure for many years to come.
And we're back with our panel, Raheem Kassam and Spencer Critchley. Spencer, the Queen has decided to welcome President Trump. She's decided to roll out the red carpet. Should there be a more unified message? I mean, does it not serve to undermine the Queen when some members of the British government and the Mayor of London are giving a very different message to the welcoming tone that she's putting out there. Does this not serve to be detrimental to the people of the United Kingdom?
I'm not sure I can really comment on, what would be the best for the people of the United Kingdom, but I can certainly understand why people are so upset, unfortunately, with our president. I do admire the Queen for respecting the importance of a state visit and recognizing that there's a difference between the office and the person who holds it. And I think she embodies many of the most admirable characters of the British people, including her wartime service during World War II. I think her message may have been a little bit pointed, though. I think, in her taking care to remind the president of the importance of alliances, the ones that he seems so intent on dismantling, and even her gift of an abridged version of Winston Churchill's great book, The Second World War.
Raheem, what's your response to that?
Oh, I think the Queen knows that President Trump is a big Churchill fan. Remember, he posed in Churchill's seat in the last visit, which also caused a little bit of uproar on this side of the pond in the United States. And I think it was a completely fitting present. But I want to just stress, again, just coming back to the fact that Sadiq Khan does this video for Elle magazine about the abortion issue in the United States, and it's something he tries to take a stand against the president on when the president visits. Sadiq Khan is the mayor who put the Bohra Muslims at the front of one of the vigils, and the Bohra Muslims are the ones who are known for doing female genital mutilation. So it appears he only believes in women's rights when it comes to attacking President Trump. He doesn't say the same things in London, doesn't certainly assail the issue of FGM in the United Kingdom. So there's a rank hypocrisy going on there. And I will say this about what we've seen from the Labour Party, especially as of late, is that they should be romping home to victory in national elections at the moment. We've had local, we've had European, and there's a general election coming up, and they are losing ground day by day. The Conservative Party couldn't be less popular in the United Kingdom anymore, but the Labour Party isn't making ground. It's actually all going to the Brexit Party. And to bring the point back down to Spencer's point a moment ago, the same values that the two countries believe in are the values that delivered Trump the presidency and the values that delivered Britain Brexit. Those are our shared values. We've talked about them democratically now. We've had these elections, we've had these referendums, and I think that's what the Queen was getting at, because don't forget, she doesn't mess around with her wardrobe. She wore Brexit Party colours to meet President Trump today.
So, Spencer, to Raheem's point, is Mayor Khan just virtue signaling and being a complete hypocrite about it at the same time? Does the president and the people of Britain really do share the same values, Brexit and independence being one of them?
With all due respect to Raheem, I think this is an example of whataboutism that ends up leading us nowhere. What about what your guy did? I think it should matter in absolute terms.
It's called context,
ethical,
Spencer.
Moral, and constitutional standards
but Spencer, does it make sense to release
States
this video with the Elle magazine calling the president a misogynist and going on about abortion in the United States? If you're going to assign the president blame, as they would see it, for more restrictive abortion laws in certain states like Georgia, then does the president also then get credit, as some would see it, for those looser abortion laws that we're seeing in states like New York? Does it even make sense? Why are you even muddying the waters with a state visit by the president and abortion laws in the United States that aren't even directly linked to him?
Well, again, I think that they absolutely are. He wouldn't have anything like the political support he does if it weren't for his flip-flop on abortion. He was pro-choice for 60-some years of his life, or at least as ever many decades as it makes sense to have a political position. And then he found it to his advantage to swap out his previous Democratic positions and swap in Republican ones when he started his most recent presidential campaign. I'm not really qualified to judge if Sadiq Khan is exploiting this for political gain. It certainly wouldn't be the first time that a politician had sought attention by leveraging another politician's event. So I certainly grant you that's entirely possible in this case. But I think that the issues that are being acted out here could not be more serious, including, we've talked about various scandals in the news today. I think one of the most serious, if not the most serious, is the president's attack on AT&T, the corporate parent of CNN, because he wasn't happy with the coverage on CNN. This is a direct attack on democracy.
Let's not dilute the issues. Raheem Kassam, I'll give you 30 seconds to wrap up. Final thoughts on the president's state visit.
Well, look, I think the left should be worried about CNN being assailed because CNN is a left-wing news network that's spreading fake news about the president day in, day out. So fine, whatever. Be worried about that. The point is, this state visit is going very, very well. Buckingham Palace is very happy. The British government is very happy. The White House is very happy. It just seems to be these hard left political fringy types that want to take digs at their president when their president goes abroad. I think it's sad. I'd be very proud to see my country's leader go abroad and get a reception like that. Let's hope it's the start of a renewed special relationship.
All right, thank you. Raheem Kassam, Spencer Critchley. Appreciate it.